Due to political disagreements with the French and not being able to fly over French territory, the United States had to come up with an alternate plan in order to get to Libya. Franklin and 17 other fighters had to fly out of a base in England, fly around France and Spain and through the Strait of Gibraltar in order to strike in Tripoli and Benghazi. They then turned around and made the trip back to the base in England. Altogether, this trip was around 3,000 miles and lasted over 14 hours with multiple air-to-air refuelings. Bands from as close to Bowling Green as Nashville, Tennessee, and places as far away as Petal, Mississippi. The Macy's used book sale has been going on all weekend. From children's books to textbooks, they've got something for everyone. Last year, they raised around $10,000 to go towards the Soki Book Fest in April. This is the 26th year for the Chocolate Festival here in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and all proceeds go to benefit Hospice of Southern Kentucky. The Soki Book Fest will be held at the Carol Nicely Center on April 19th and 20th. For more information, visit SokiBookFest.org. Live in the studio, Katherine Kirby, News Channel 12. Back to you, TJ.
It's kind of a cross between a Broadway show and an Olympic sporting event.
Over the weekend, the Guthrie Bell Tower was no longer the loudest musical instrument on Western's campus. The sound of drums and other musical instruments took over South Lawn and EA Diddle Arena. This annual event is called Winter Guard International.
WGI is hosting the Mid-South Percussion Championships. It's a regional event that about 100 drum lines come to from around the country, and they're all here performing all day.
Bands from as close to Bowling Green as Nashville, Tennessee, and places as far away as Petal, Mississippi. Each are vying for a spot to compete in the World Championship in April.
Today, we went out there and we tried our hardest, and I think we did awesome, and everybody's impressed.
However, impressing the judges in this competition takes more than just musical talent. Father Ryan Sr., Caleb Sharber, gets to experience the physical part of band firsthand with what's called a round stage.
We just strap ourselves in, and that basically just keeps us locked in the stage, so when we go upside down we don't fall out or anything.
Even though the spirit of competition runs through these musicians' veins, they all have one thing in common.
It's the funnest thing I've ever been a part of.
It's just a thrill to do it. It's just so much fun.
Katherine Kirby, News Channel 12.
Once you pay to get in, you get to walk around and eat as much chocolate as you want.
There was an overflow of chocolate and chocolate lovers at the Sloan Convention Center this weekend. Area restaurants and organizations donated their time and chocolate to raise money for the cause. This is the 26th year for the Chocolate Festival here in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and all proceeds go to benefit Hospice of Southern Kentucky. The money raised each year benefits patients that cannot afford medical insurance. The marketing director for Hospice of Southern Kentucky says they love to educate the public on what hospice does.
We take care of terminally ill patients. Now, not only do we do the hands-on nursing part for the patients, we take care of the families too.
Not only does the event benefit hospice, but it is also a way for area businesses to showcase some of their best culinary creations. Sweet Temptations owner Daphne Fulcher says this is the first time her business has been part of the Chocolate Festival.
They're very special people, so they had asked us to, and we wanted to.
This year's Chocolate Festival was the biggest one held so far, with over 1,200 tickets sold. Katherine Kirby, News Channel 12. Air Force Lieutenant Colonel Arnie Franklin of Bowling Green was instrumental in bringing to town what you could call a close friend. The friend is a retired F-111 fighter bomber, affectionately called the Aardvark for its long nose. Franklin wanted to bring this plane here so its story could be told.
South Central Kentucky is full of aviators that have made significant contributions to the history of aviation. But their stories go largely untold. because nobody knows about it.
It was a special bombing mission in April of 1986 where the F-111 made its historic mark. In that year, Libya was accused by the U.S. of a terrorist bomb at a Berlin nightclub frequented by U.S. soldiers stationed in Germany. Due to political disagreements with the French and not being able to fly over French territory, the United States had to come up with an alternate plan in order to get to Libya. Franklin and 17 other fighters had to fly out of a base in England, fly around France and Spain and through the Strait of Gibraltar in order to strike in Tripoli and Benghazi. They then turned around and made the trip back to the base in England. Altogether, this trip was around 3,000 miles and lasted over 14 hours with multiple air-to-air refuelings. Several years later, President George Bush Sr. ordered U.S. warplanes to the Middle East as a part of Operation Desert Storm. Among them was a squadron of F-111s, including Plane 178.
178 has the distinction of dropping the last bomb on the last night of the Desert War.
Like the other planes at the park, Franklin wants this F-111, number 178, to have its story told too. Reporting for News Channel 12, I'm Katherine Kirby.